Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Jimmy Jan with Tennessee Soils here, and I am going to show you how to find soils for a particular piece of property. Just to give you a little bit of background about myself, I got involved in real estate in 2016. I left corporate America, got involved in real estate, got my license at the end of 2016, and around the middle of 2017 started getting involved in land acquisition and spending a lot of time in the field with a soil scientist and just learning various things about the different types of soils, depth of clay, depth of bedrock, depth of frac pan, so on and so forth. And so I just developed the passion for this. And what I realized is that there were a lot of real estate agents. I have to say about 90% of real estate agents, when it comes to land in rural areas, they really don't know what they're looking for. And so I thought to myself, what if I could create a process and a system that could show agents, investors, sellers, and buyers how to determine and assess the value of their property. And so, without further delay, we're going to get into this presentation. I don't like adding a whole lot of bluff, but this training right here is going to be about 10-15 minutes, and it's going to be very helpful and beneficial for you. And let's go ahead and get started. Now, how do you actually determine what type of soil is on a particular piece of property? Well, go ahead and bookmark these URLs on this page. Web Soil Survey, nrcs.usda, the CA Soil Resource, and then both of those tools are free. That doesn't cost you anything. And then there's a subscription-based software that I subscribe to, which is acrevalue.com. And I'm going to go through in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use each one of these resources. So real quickly, let's talk about the Web Soil Survey .nrcs.gov website. That is the national database that holds all soils in the United States. About 90% of the soils are going to be found in the NRCS database. And actually, every the software that I use, acrevalue.com, they get their soil from this Web Soil Survey. So every tool that's out there that provides you with soil information, they're getting their information from the Web Soil Survey tool, which is a free tool to the public. All right, so here's how you're going to use this Web Soil Survey tool. So you're going to type that websoilsurvey.nrcs in your URL. And when you get there, there is going to be a green button on the home page. I'm circling that green button right now. I'm drawing on it. Start WSS. You want to make sure that you click on that green button. After you click on that green button, you're going to be taken to a page that kind of looks like a Google Earth view that shows you the United States. And there are 3 areas on this page that you want to pay attention to. And I have them circled in red. You have the address. There's a tab up here that's called Soil Map. And then circled here are drawing tools. And on those drawing tools, the acronym AOI, which stands for Area of Interest, you will use those tools to draw around the address that you use in your quick navigation bar to find the soil for that address and the area around that address. Okay, so here I am using an address that an agent sent me earlier this week, 7596 Shelbyville Pike, Christiana, Tennessee. You can actually see that I have typed the address into the quick navigation, and right here is like a little orange star that shows you where that address is located. So once you have the address here, you can go to your drawing tool. So your area interest. The one that I actually used was this one right here. I used this drawing tool, and all I did was click and dragged the area. Terrible artwork for me. But I clicked and dragged the area that I wanted, and after I finished, it created these diagonal lines that you see right here. So once you see those diagonal lines, Then you will go to the top of your web page and remember that soil map area that I showed you in the previous slides. You're going to click on that soil map you're going to click on that soil map tab, and here's how you get your soil types. Oh my, this is just so beautiful, so beautiful. So when you look at the map now, you can actually see some letters here, and you can see some letters here. And where you see the letters within the contours, that is the soil for your area. So right here, this soil right here represents all of this that I'm drawing in right now. And then to the left here, you have your soil names. So you have some Dilton, you have some Gladeville Rock, and you have Talbot. So now that you know what type of soil you have for the area, the question is, how do I know if the soil is suitable for a septic system? I'm glad you asked. Now, if you just take your cell phone and scan that QR code, it will take you to the Tennessee Soils app, which will help you understand if the soil for this particular piece of property is suitable for a septic system. So let's take a look at the next slide to see what we find. So now that you have scanned the app, you will see at the bottom of the app there are tabs here, and you will want the soil, series, and data. So once you get into the app, select soils, series, and data. All right, so now that we are in the soil, series, and data side table of the app, you can now take your soil names, type them in the search menu, and voila, you will get information on Gladeville, Talbot, and Dilton. And here you can actually see that Gladeville is a soil that is greater than 75 minutes, so has a greater than 75 minute absorption rate. Talbot has a absorption rate greater than 75 minutes, and then Dilton is a 75 minute soil. So you can see that for this particular piece of property, that 93% of the area makes up bad soils. On here, there is a soil rating. So Gladeville has a soil rating of 5, Talbot has a soil rating of 5, and there is a legend here that gives you soil rating. 1 equals best, 2 equals better, 3 is good, 4 is marginal, and 5 is worst, is bad. And so Gladeville and Talbot are bad soils. Now you may be asking yourself this question: why is the Tennessee Soils app important? Well, first things first, there's over 400 different types of soils in the state of Tennessee. And just so you know, there are 130 soils that are greater than 75 minutes. And if you have a soil that's greater than 75 minutes, you can't use the dirt. There may be some exceptions to the rule, but for the most part, you just can't use the dirt. Now, I will note that only a soil scientist can validate whether or not soil is suitable for a septic system. But this tool gives you and equips you with the information that you need to determine, how much effort do I want to put into this property to pay a soil scientist to go out and validate whether or not the soil map is telling me the right thing or the wrong thing. And so keep in mind, there's over 400 different types of soil. There's over 130 soils greater than 75 minutes. There's about 52 75-minute soils. And then you have somewhere around 80 to 130-minute, 45-minute, and 60-minute soils, which are really good soils, by the way. And so I just want to let you know that knowing this information, the type of soil that you have on a particular piece of property, is invaluable. And let's just say, for example, that 7596 Shelbyville Highway that was sent to me to look at, let's just say that the soil was a 60-minute soil. Well, if that soil is a 60-minute soil, that changes things. That changes the perspective. That changes the perception and perceived value of the property. That says, you know what? Maybe this is something that I need to look into from a development perspective because the soil is good. And so not only knowing the type of soil that's on the property, but how that soil is classified can be an invaluable resource to you. Now, in the event that you need to call a soil scientist, we have every soil scientist in the state of Tennessee right here in the app. You just zoom in to the location. No, actually, here's the tab here to reach a soil scientist. So you just zoom into the area that you're actually doing your research on, and you find the closest soil scientist to that area and give them a call. Now, this is the second resource that I use. Get your phone out and just bookmark this on your phone, because when I'm out in the field and if I'm at an auction or if I'm driving in a rural area and I see a piece of property that's of interest to me, I'll pull this phone out and it will drill down on the location that I am at and tell me what the soil is around me and where I'm currently standing. So when you get this bookmark, this is free. There's nothing better than free, but you hit that compass right there and it will pinpoint your location and it will give you the layout of the land. So once you know what soil that you're standing on, then you can go to the Tennessee Soils app and look up that soil to determine whether or not it's a 30, 45, 60, 75-minute soil. This tool is very helpful, especially when you're just out and about and you just want to see what the landscape is of a particular piece of property. So bookmark this free tool and resource and use it. So I just kind of did an example for you guys. I hit the compass. I'm on my computer or laptop, and this is where my current location is. And then you can see all the red circles around me. That's the type of soil that's around me. This is all this area is developed. There's homes in all these areas, but I just wanted to use this as an example so that you can see what actually happens when you hit that compass, and you can see the various different types of soil that are around you and up under your feet. So just taking those soils that we did the exercise on, when you hit the compass and you see the soils that are around you, there's Harpeth, there's Lawman, there's Linville, and there's Bradyville. And then each soil has a rating. So you have a rating of 1, you have a rating of 2. Here, this one says questionable, see notes. And then Bradyville is a rating of 4. It's a rating of 4. My icon is hiding it there, but you can see the information for each one of those soils. And let's just say that area had not been developed yet. I'm telling you, this would be a high area of interest for me because I got a 30-minute soil, 2 45-minute soils, and a 75-minute soil, which tells me that there is potential here. And y'all, this is my favorite tool, acrevalue.com. It does require a monthly or a yearly subscription, but for me, it's worth every penny, every dollar, because the presentation that it gives you is much cleaner and is much easier to read. And so not only that, there's some ancillary reports and things that AcreValue gives you. So it gives you elevation heat maps, it gives you flood maps, it gives you the ownership history. It even provides you sales comps of property around a particular piece of parcel. And so I love acrevalue.com. I encourage you to check it out. It doesn't cost you anything to get a login. I think you might be able to do maybe 3 or 4 searches before they ping you to do a subscription. But it definitely is a great tool and a great resource to use if you are going to get heavily involved in land acquisition. And so here's just a quick report from the acrevalue.com. I took that 7596 Shelbyville Highway in Christiana, and I put it in, and it just created a clean contour line for me around the whole property. This whole area right here is your Gladeville Rock, and so this is just an example of the report that it spits out for you. So if you are a real estate agent representing a buyer or a seller, acrevalue.com, just in the reporting and the presentation of its reports, is an invaluable resource that you can use in your presentations. Alas, we are finally done. So, hey, just I know that there are a variety of ways that you can actually there's a variety of ways and tools that you can use to find soil for a particular piece of property. But the Tennessee Soils app is very helpful in determining if that soil is suitable for development. Just remember, there's over 400 different types of soil, and each soil has a classification. The Tennessee Soils app is helpful in sifting through the soil types and ensuring you are spending your time and resources where you can get desired results. That brings this one to a wrap, y'all. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.